Good morning, my name is Stacy Matola. On February 22nd at 4 p.m. I held a task group at Field Maintenance Shop number 3 in the classroom. There were a total of 10 participants in this group ranging from age 21 to 54 years old. At this time I did not have a co-leader. The task for this group was to formulate a plan to receive 160 pieces of equipment coming back from a deployment overseas. The goal for this group was to prepare and equip the group for the task at hand. I have had no prior experience leading a group. To start off with opening my group, I introduced myself and gave a brief overview of what the task was for the group. Initially, when I opened the group, I chose to do a round where each member introduced themselves and gave a brief description of their experience and what their military specialty was. I felt like this was a good way to get members focused on what the task and the goal of the group was, and also to gather information as to the experience and specialty of each member of the group. Once we completed the round, we discussed the task in more detail, giving dates, times, and what needed to happen on the day the equipment was received. The tasks at hand were coming up with a plan for ground guiding, equipment operators, directing traffic at the site, determining the parking location for the equipment, and transportation from the parking site to the unloading site. During this stage of the group, I used techniques of clarification and questioning to understand different points members were trying to make. So we had a discussion about what different types of things we could do to ensure that all the processes were in place to make this a smooth mission. In addition, I also used clarification and reflection and clarification to deepen the understanding of what members were trying to convey. That way all of the members understood what each member was trying to say in regards to the specific tasks that we needed to complete. The members were fully engaged and active participants in the group. There were several members that weren't very engaged and didn't really talk a lot. So I felt that it was appropriate to use the technique of drawing out, more specifically when I was asking questions to the group members, and as I was scanning the room with my eyes, I would specifically end my question at a specific member in order to draw them out and to have them more engaged in the group. While we were having our discussion, there was one member who seemed to speak most of the time. This member always had an opinion, and also too, this member also felt like their ideas were better than everyone else's. So there were different points where I had to, cut this member off, and basically I just stopped making eye contact with this member at different points of the group. When I asked questions of the group, I was purposeful in not ending my question at that group member. In that way there, it allowed other members to engage and participate in the group. I also chose to use dyads to focus the group on the task. This was also a good way to warm members up and build energy with the group. When I paired the members up, it was because I had the information from the round in the beginning of the group, I was able to pair the members that had similar skills. That way they could formulate their thoughts in their subtasks. The subtasks were broken up since I had 10 members. Each group had 2 people, so I paired them to take a specific point of the task that we needed to complete and come up with some ideas to, be able to complete the task at hand. Once we did that, we came back as a large group, and everyone discussed what their ideas and thoughts were during that time, and we were able to formulate the plan to successfully receive the equipment that was coming back. We also closed the group by conducting another round to gauge if each member felt like, they had an opportunity to share, to voice their opinions, to determine if they felt that they were, valued within the group. The group was able to complete the task and have formulated a plan according to what was needed. In my self-assessment, overall, I would say that the group went well. The group did accomplish the task. However, there were different points where the group started to get off topic, and I had to refocus the group so that we could stay on task, especially since time was limited. Several members started to discuss topics that really didn't have any relevance to the group, so I had to use the technique of cutting them off. The dyad brainstorming activity, I felt like that was a really good way to break up the subtasks in order to allow each member to kind of get comfortable and, share within their dyad. But also, too, they kind of warmed up to each other. So when we came back as a large group, those individuals were more likely to share and be comfortable speaking amongst the total group. Some of the things that I did find that were a little bit difficult for me was, I hadn't done a group before, and I realized the importance of pre-planning for groups. I never realized that before. In planning, I kind of feel like we need to plan for any possibilities of anything that comes up during the group, and I don't necessarily think that I totally planned for that. And also, too, what I also found by leading this group is I can tend to be a talker, and sometimes I talk too much, and within this group, I found myself doing a little bit more talking than allowing the group members to share and talk. My concluding thought is that there's a lot, even though there's a lot that I've learned, I'm not very skilled at leading a group. I do have some skills with larger groups, but leading a small group is something that I really need to work on and focus learning different techniques in leading groups. Thank you.